morning and welcome to ABC in the Morning Live here on ABC News GH. I am ABENA MANTE. I'm so grateful to come your way today. I'm honored to come your way. Today is the 30th of December 2025, and this is what will be the last show, ABC in the Morning, for the year 2025. You've been with us throughout this whole year, and we cannot thank you enough. I'm so grateful to you coming into your homes, coming to your offices, into your cars, wherever, every morning, and you join us, you listen to us, you interact with us. I cannot take it for granted at all. Thank you for making this show a success. There's no ABC in the morning without you, my viewers, and I can never thank you enough. I'm so grateful that you have come along with me all through the year. Today we have so much for you on the show. Some of my colleagues will be joining me in studio for some discussions, and so today the discussion will not only be with duty bearers and the politicians, the experts and all. My colleagues will join me in studio. We'll have some conversation on the very major things that have happened throughout this year. 2025 has been really eventful, extremely eventful. So much has happened this year. The year has come by so fast. However, it's also been a year that some have said, could you end already? And I've read that so many times, because many feel that the year has been packed with so many incidents. In any case and in any way, we thank God in all things. We'll have some conversations about the major happenings this year, 2025. This is also the year President John Dramani Mahama got the second chance to lead the country. And on 7th of January, he was sworn into office as president, and the first time we got a female vice president, Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman. And so, like I said, 2025 has been a lot of things. We'll discuss this year into detail so that we can have some great conversations on the show this morning. We'll also bring you conversations with Janet Nabla, who is the founder of the People's National Party, and Dennis Kwakwa, former Ashanti Regional Communications Director for the NPP. We'll be looking at the arguments about the $214 million lost by Gold Board. You know, IMF released said that Gold Board has made some losses. Yesterday, the CEO of Gold Board, Sami Jemfi, took to his socials and sought to explain some things. And beyond that, he said we should all be looking forward to 5th of January 2026, where he will break some things down better for us. All eyes on 5th January. We'll also take a look again with our guest about 2025. How's 2025 been? Is it a year that they will classify as a successful year, or they will say that we are still taking some very slow steps? I also believe that we're not out of the woods. We're taking baby steps, slow steps. We're building on the few building blocks we have, and we'll get better. There are others who believe that since this government came in power, things have been smooth sailing. The hurricanes have not been much. The storms have not overcome us, and so it's been a great year. We'll take a look at the year from the angle, or from the view of our guest today on ABC in the Morning. And ultimately, I'd love so much to hear from you on Ghana Speaks, where you call on 053-916-1609. I'd also want to find out how this year has been. Give us your thoughts, share your thoughts. 25. As a Ghanaian, how has the year been? Has President Mahama and his government blown your mind with the governance they have been giving us? You share your thoughts with us on everything 2025 has been. And additionally, I'll give you the opportunity, if you want to send season's greetings, best wishes to your friends, your family, your loved ones, I'll give you the opportunity, so you can do that before we end the show today. I have all these and many more for you. I'll also bring you the latest in the world of sports. Yesterday, the final round, the last round of group stage games were played at Morocco, the AFCON that is going on in Morocco. Ghana is not there, unfortunately. It's been a very, very sad incident. But the sports team will join me, and then we'll bring you the latest in the world of sports and what more we should be expecting. I have all of these for you today on ABC in the Morning. We are streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook. The YouTube channel, ABC News GH. The Facebook page, ABC News GH. And our socials, Instagram, X, TikTok, at ABC News GH _. And if you want news as it happens in real time, you should visit our website www.abcnewsgh.com. www.abcnewsgh.com. We'll take a quick break. When we return, my colleagues will be joining me in studio and we'll have some very wonderful conversations here you do not want to miss out on. This is ABC in the Morning.
Oh, Kwame. You know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now add your Chino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so good.
Jollof so cool. Tasty, yeah.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, so mommy, who is going to do my wedding jollof?
Oh, Kwame. You know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now add your Chino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so good.
Jollof so cool. Tasty, yeah.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. You're still watching ABC in the Morning live here on ABC News GH. It's time for our front story. Our front story takes a little different turn this morning. We're not going to anybody to speak with. We're speaking with each other here in the studio. I have Khadija Isifu, whom you always see on ABC Headlines, join me today in the studio, and also someone you might know who is not an unfamiliar face on ABC in the Morning because he brings you ABC Speaks. Khadija has been bringing you the Community Watch. going into our communities to tell us the stories that matter in their community, what duty bearers should be paying attention to. And as she's been roaming to find what is happening, it's only right that she joins me here today. Khadija, you are welcome for the first time on ABC in the Morning.
Thank you very much, Abena. It's good to be here.
Thank you. Maybe one day you get to sit here and then you also host ABC in the Morning. Thank you. Sami is also here. Sami is not an unfamiliar face on ABC in the Morning, and he's standing where he normally would stand to give us ABC Speaks and share his thoughts with us. Sami, also welcome.
Thank you, Abena, for having me this morning.
Yes, I have a few minutes to spare you guys, but we'll have a very great conversation.
Yeah.
I see on Sami's screen that we are reviewing 2025.
Yeah.
Stories that have shaped the year, and just governors. I see A, B, C, D, E, F. Well, I'll hand over to Sami because Sami will be the one to lead us in the conversation on the things that happened this year. We are streaming on Facebook and on YouTube, and so I'd love to hear from you on the things that happened this year and what you think the emphasis was placed on, and if that emphasis was a good one, and how those things that happened have shaped us. Have we gotten better as a country, or have we retrogressed? Sami, over to you.
Right, Abena, thank you for having us this morning. You know, today is the penultimate ABC in the Morning in terms of the ultimate, actually.
Because I already told them it's the ultimate.
The ultimate, actually. The ultimate for the year. And it wouldn't be right that we go without reviewing the things that has happened this year. A lot, like you mentioned, a lot has transpired from January 1st, 2025 to today, December 30, 2025, and a lot has happened, especially after that would I say historic 2024 presidential elections and the parliamentary elections, the handover and the change of government, the transition, the swearing in of the president, the formation of the president's cabinet and the ministers and his government. That whole process that happened from January, February, March, we saw a lot happen in there. Then after that, we now zoom into governance and the president trying to take decisions. We saw a lot happening. So today we'll be reviewing from January, since January 1, 2025 till today, the major stories, the headlines that have shaped the year, and we'll be doing that looking at sector by sector. And if you look at my screen here, we have what we have categorized as governance, election, and political stories or political related events that have shaped 2025. And Abena, the first thing that happened was that post-election violence that characterized the beginning of 2025.
You know, one thing, as soon as you said the first thing that happened, it threw me way back before the election. I remember in Studio One when we used to host ABC in the Morning, that we spoke with GI, one of the CSOs. We're talking about the lead up to the election. They mentioned that everything was smooth, everything was calm, everything was great, and they were even surprised themselves concerning how things had gone. Just after the election, I spoke to the same person again. When he said that, my sister, I'm surprised because I don't think anybody thought that post the election there was going to be that kind of violence that we saw there. Getting so angry at your own party, you go and vandalize the building.
People vandalize buildings in Whole Central, for instance. A party had what do you call it, office. I think Whole Central Constituency office was burnt down. Somewhere in the northern region, in the northeast, similar incident happened across the country, actually, because when there was a change of government, some people saw it as an avenue to now enjoy the power, so they were in a haste to chase away those.
Yes, and it was 8 years. 8 years is long, you know.
8 years in opposition, right?
It's not easy.
It's not easy.
A lot happened. A lot happened. People said, "Oh, why do you have to destroy properties?" And these grassroots are saying it's not easy to be in opposition for 8 years. And you know, Abena, something happened during the elections. You know, these polling agents, the NDC polling agents, they were very vigilant. They were very vigilant. And I reported in Esujamai at one polling station, Apegusu, the NDC polling agent there was so hard on the EC officials there, and I was asking her, and she's saying that she has to be vigilant. It's been 8 years. This time they are winning, and I'm like, okay, that's good. But I think they had to tone down their. They had to.
So when they won the elections, they were in a haste to take over power.
Yeah, you know.
Some I remember even at even when the president started making appointments. Some of them were not happy with some of the appointments that were made. For is it the Ghana Revenue Authority, for instance, when there was an appointment over some NDC supporters believe that the person who was appointed there was not a true NDC member. He was not a true National Democratic Party's member. Hence, they went there to besiege the office, trying to get his removal. So a lot of these things happened.
No choice.
Yeah,
so
that was
that's the issue, right? Sabi, where we would go beyond party lenses, but I don't think we'll get there soon in Ghana.
It is one thing, because some see it from a different lens, like Khadija mentioned. They see it as suffering in opposition 8 years. Yes. And then when they were suffering, they saw people who were suffering with them. People who were on the grounds campaigning, especially during the campaign period. Yeah. They saw people who were doing the work, the grass who were going from constituency to constituency, village to village during the campaign. Then they saw people who, they didn't see some others. Others contributed to the win, but they were not at the forefront like the grassroots members did. Hence, they saw that, no, this appointment went to somebody who was not at the forefront. And they felt like the president was sidelining them. They felt disappointed, and hence they needed to react.
That's why the president said that, I mean, take your time. Yeah. We can't bring everybody. You know what, we were in this very studio, when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia conceded. He held that press conference. Yeah. The next day in the morning, and whilst we heard that the president, then candidate Mahama, would be speaking at his office. I remember passing through Accra Central, that is Mokola area, before going to do that report. And I got to Accra, and things looked quite odd. Even before EC would announce, people had started going to public toilets to collect keys. Not they said, I say to collect keys.
Because what benefits?
Yes, what benefits? So yes, keys. People were going to parking lots for changeover. Yeah, and some of them resulted in violence. Yeah. And so this is something that
the post-election violence started all the way from after the election, the election, all the way to the transition period, and even after transition, even after the president was sworn in, we also saw some violence there. We saw people were not happy with some of the president's appointments, and they were demonstrating and all of that.
You remember the president's own constituency, Bole
Bamboy and all of that. So it was a lot that transpired there. Then after, we saw the Ablekuma North,
the very infamous Ablekuma North
rerun, because after the EC declared the result, there were constituencies results that were still pending to be declared. Ablekuma North remained the last constituency to get for declaration. In fact, there were about 4 or 5 declarations, or not declaration, coalitions that never succeeded. I remember we went to do a coalition at the Greater Accra regional office, the EC office of which is around Rich. They did about 2-3 coalitions there. It didn't suffice. Then they sent it to the EC headquarters. Tried, it didn't work. There was a brawl at the coalition center every now and then.
At Rich, I remember the louver blades that were broken.
A lot happened, and because of that, the EC had to conduct a rerun in some polling stations in the constituency. So Ablekuma North dragged, and it was all over the news for close to 1 month I mean, more than a month actually.
More than a month,
was in the news every now and then. The NPP candidate saying that no, they won the election. NDC's candidate then also said that she won the election.
You know what I remember? In Ablekuma North, NPP candidate put up her billboard.
Her billboard, and the NDC, and they were all congratulating. I mean, the constituents saying that thank you for voting for me. The NPP's candidate posted her a nice billboard congratulating the constituents. Then Arabna did that, and she didn't do it at a different location.
At the same
location that the Efri has stationed her
I got the opportunity to. I think I was going somewhere and I passed to Ablekuma North and I saw the two billboards.
It was interesting. I mean, on this bit, I went to Ablekuma North because of all of these things, and it was interesting. Long after the whole protest, the NDC saying they will not accept the election result. In fact, the elections were challenged at the Supreme Court. Remember, there was some challenge at the High Court, then it moved to the Supreme Court and all of that. And then there was a finality from the court that there's supposed to be a rerun in the polling stations that they couldn't verify the result. And you know, when that rerun declaration was made, the NPP were not happy about it. They said that they were not going to participate in the elections. Then Efri said, no, I am going to contest.
And we spoke with her.
We spoke to her that day when we got information that she was going to contest as against the party's position that they were not going to participate in the polling in the rerun. She said no. She has listened to her constituents, the electorate, and she was sure that if she contested, she win. Then that whole rerun happened, and ABENA, she got defeated. ABENA won the elections. Even during the elections, that was when Hawa Kumsin, right, was beaten to pulp. I mean, it was sad. It was
a terrible
incident.
Act. It was a terrible act that was perpetrated, and I think that we really should get to that point of taking out violence from our elections.
It was terrible.
I think we continue to tout ourselves as a peace-loving country until the elections come up, and then it's like all thoughts, I don't want to use
emotions rise.
Thank you, because I was going to use brutal words. I don't want to use that. And then we don't care if we killed somebody. Look at what happened to journalists at Ablekuma North.
That lady
starting with the police, the police that hit the GH1 journalist and shoving journalists here and
in
there.
fact, for me, I feel like during the elections, people put their brains at home. Especially the party, what do you call it? Those who are the grassroots, and some of them
the muzzle of the party.
Yeah, they put their brains and they go in a vociferous manner to defend the party at all costs. And what saddens me is the aftermath of the incident. The police said they conducted arrests. We never saw the persons who were arrested. You know, normally when the police make arrests, they come to post
the mark
shots of those who were arrested. We didn't see who was arrested. All we heard were they were arrested and then they were granted bail, and the case died.
I think both sides need to understand that going into elections, they have to approach it in a very rational way, because both sides think that if I remain calm, then the other person takes advantage of me and then does what he or she needs to do to rig the elections. So the issue of vigilance, they want to be all, we want to win the election by hook or crook. So the moment you are calm,
they feel like
the NPP used that. The NPP bemoaned that. They said that after Ayawaso, the white paper recommended that there be the disbandment of all of these vigilantism of these security groups within the parties. The NPP said that they disbanded theirs, and then that brings me to Akweti Asami. The NDC did not disband it. That's the allegation the NPP makes. And so when Khadija says that they should all approach it calmly and not
for me,
look at
I feel
it.
like
Some of them don't want to understand.
They don't want
They'll
to
tell you
understand
that
it
because
way,
we approached it calmly. Look at us, we've been beaten.
Yes.
Next time,
so next time we won't.
So
That's the whole point.
For me, one thing I noticed that the party seems to not trust the institutions to do the work. They don't trust the EC to conduct a free and fair elections. They don't trust the security services, i.e. the police and the other. Normally in the election we form the security task force, right? An election task force. They don't trust these forces or these institutions to what? To ensure free, fair, and a violent-free election. So we always see the parties sending their guys, I don't even want to use unprinted words on them. But Abna, this was what happened in Ablekuma. Then we came to Akwetia was also in the news.
And both of you reported from Akwetia. So I'll leave that conversation to both of you.
Akwetia was also in the news for a while because it was in the news firstly because the elections were challenged by the NDC. They went to the High Court, seeking for the elections result to be annulled. And I was at the Tesano polling station where the Akwetia elections were declared. Akwetia, Nsawamado, Ojiri, Suhum, and some other constituencies. There were about 6 from the eastern region. Their results were declared at Tesano, the police training camp, right? And after the Akwetia declaration, the NDC registered their displeasure and immediately went to court. So the case had been in the court for a while, and in fact, the NP was not supposed to be part of those to be sworn in. The late NS Yakumin, he was supposed not to be part of the MPs to be sworn in because there was, from the court, there was an injunction against him, and he defied the injunction and got sworn into parliament, started and became a member of parliament.
And it was interesting because when the clerk of parliament
said that
raised, he did not raise, concerns were raised. The clerk of parliament brought it
and read the content of that, the rates they are receiving.
And then the minority leader said that they were ready to face any
the consequences. And at last, he was the ruling from the High Court favored him. The High Court took the quashed the content that was against him. So he was a free man and legitimate NP as the court ruling came. But unfortunately, he didn't even leave to enjoy his MPship for a long time because he passed on later in the year. And then that came the by-election of Akwetia, and that whole by-election was all over the news because the NDC now went to do a primaries to elect their parliamentary candidate. The NPP also went to, the NPP didn't do a primaries. They acclaimed their candidate for that elections, and it was a heated by-elections. We went to, like you mentioned, myself and Khadija.
I'd really love to hear.
Myself and Khadija was in the constituency, and Khadija can tell. It was one of those elections that tensions were high. If you went there, you would see that the full architecture of the government was there. In terms of government appointees, people within the ruling government, everybody was there. A day before the election, or 2 days before the election, the National Democratic Congress chairman went there to campaign. Chairman Nassedu Nketia, he was in the constituency campaign. On the day of elections, you would see persons like Marita Brew, who normally will not be on grounds during elections. She was there from the Jubilee House. You saw even the chief of staff was in the constituency campaigning. So the full architecture of the government was in Akwetia. Then you saw the NPP also supporting their candidate. We saw JFK, the party's general secretary, who was in the constituency, and it was a fully packed by-election. And at the end of the day,
and government's message was simple: vote for us, we'll bring you development. And Sami, it was quite interesting to see that on the day of election or a day before, there was a road being constructed.
Roads were being constructed.
Yes, roads were being constructed.
Roads were being constructed.
Yes, it was so interesting to see that the government was so keen on winning the Akwetia seat. And Sami, Abena, one thing that strikes me the most, or one thing that I admired about the police service was the security presence in Akwatia.
Was huge.
I think, yes, it was huge, and I think the IGP needs commendation on that. It was such that every now and then the security presence, the police were everywhere, ensuring that the electorates were being protected, they were safe. They even, and the people there, some of them, when Sami and I spoke to some of them, they were saying that they are scared of the police presence in the constituency, thinking that something may happen. I think the police also took cue from what happened in Ablekuma, and they learned their lessons, and they deployed 5,000, right?
Yeah,
5,000 police to Akwatia. So you realize that one polling station, you get like you can count up to 50 police officers on site. It was that serious, and it was good.
But it was peaceful.
Yes,
by and large, it was peaceful.
I mean, that's
that incident between Azoka and then Masaudi. But that incident, the election was peaceful.
And at the end of the day, things don't get like that again.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Bernard Bediako, who came here recently, won that by-election in Akwatia. Now, another thing that happened, the famous appointment committee chaos. Remember when they were vetting the ministers, and chaos ensued because the both sides of the appointment committee, the minority and the majority side, couldn't agree on who to come on which day. Remember, I think it was the NP for Northton, and now Minister for Foreign Affairs. He was supposed to appear on that day, but the minority wanted to suspend the vetting proceedings and adjourn it to the next day. The majority said no, we will continue till we finish with the number that we have. We had we had a portion for a day. In a day they could do like 4, sometimes 3, 4 vettings. And ABENA, that day it was an eyesore. Something despicable happened. You saw members of parliament,
the people's representatives. I actually love
moving tables,
chess,
shoving each other, pushing each other, and in fact, it was unparliamentary, as they would call it.
It was disheartening to watch.
Yeah, very disheartening.
I mean, if you saw your MP, I love. Sometimes I love to rather call them the people's representatives, so that they remember that
they are
there. When I'm watching Parliament and I see my MP, I want to be proud. I want to be happy that my MP is somebody who is revered.
Yeah.
And so if I am watching an appointment committee sitting, and then my MP is part of a brawl.
It was that bad.
It was terrible.
And,
it was disheartening.
And you see, in all of this, children watch them, and that is my fear, because I was watching one interview, or I saw it on social media, and the child was asked, oh, what do you think of the members of parliament in Ghana? Oh, then the child said, oh, I see them fighting in parliament, I see them, and I'm like, oh,
what example?
This is sad, because this is what they see. Children actually see things, and that is what they can talk about. So I think that our parliamentarians can do better.
Yeah,
I think they can do better, because as you said, they are representing the people.
After that chaos, remember, a commission of inquiry was set to investigate it. After that, the speaker suspended 4 MPs. I think MP Tampuli was part of it. Alhassan Tampuli. The other MP that was suspended was Wijagbawe MP, Jerry Ahmed Sheab, and then the majority chief whip. The majority chief whip was also Dafiamepo was also suspended. About 4 MPs, but the minority were not happy about it, and they didn't even appear before the committee, the committee of inquiry that was led by Emmanuel Bejra, and that whole proceedings went on and on and on. The speaker's ruling came, and then the speaker had to then pardon them and allow them to come to parliament, and like we say, the whole case died a natural death. So that was another thing. Then we saw the commissioning of the operation Recover All Loot, oral. Now oral members were announced, and ABENA, it was a hula baloo. You saw on the committee, you saw the former Auditor General, Daniel Domelevu, on that committee. Now the Chief Executive Officer of IOCO, who was also
the former EC board
was also on that committee. Charlotte Osei was on that committee. Was the NP for North Tongue, and the now Foreign Affairs Minister Ablakwa, right? Samuel Okujetu Ablakwa was on that committee. Lawyer Martin Pebu was on that committee. So it was a committee of big brains, big minds, people who some are called them anti-corruption fighters. You know, Yao Domelevu, when you hear him, he's always coming to talk about governance, integrity, corruption, and anti-corruption. Lawyer Martin Pebu was on that committee, and I've been at the committee. The committee started receiving reports and of corruption and corruption-related issues from the administration, the previous administration. So if you had if you had any findings or any evidence to suggest that corruption happened under the NPP administration, this person and this person was involved, the committee opened their arms to receive reports.
So, I think we missed somebody in the committee.
To receive the report from you.
I think we missed somebody in the committee. Was retired COP Nathan Kofi Boache instead of Charlotte Osei on the committee. I think Charlotte Osei was running the Constitutional Review
Committee.
Okay.
So it was a committee that they are not supposed to do fact finding. They were just supposed to receive the report and then present it to the president, receive all the corruption related reports, and then present it to the president. And they actually did that. They took close to a month or so to take the reports, the facts, the evidence from people. Some sent it through emails. There was a toll-free number to receive it, and they themselves went out to also look for for evidence of corruption and corruption-related issues, and then they made their submission to the president, and then the president handed over the cases to the Attorney General for investigation to commence. It was from the committee's report that we saw some investigations, like will come there. The AG started investigating people like Chairman Woon to me and the others, right? So it was the oral findings that brought, so the whole oral, in fact, when it started, the minority in parliament were livid about it because they said that targeted persons who were under their administration. So it was more like a political witch hunt. They saw it as a political witch hunt rather than a true fight against corruption and corruption-related offenses. And another thing that happened, which happened just recently, was the Constitutional Review Committee report. Now, the report came recently, but the Constitutional Review was would I say, they started their work early in the year. The president formed them early in the year. That's where Charlotte Osei was on that committee. Kwesi Prempeh chairing the committee, and the committee went around the country. In fact, they said that they went to 10 regions across the country.
That is where concerns have been raised, but we'll come to that later. Let's talk about them.
So the committee was supposed to take recommendations or look at amending the 1992 constitution, because there have been arguments over the years that the constitution needs to be amended. Portions of the constitution have outlived its usefulness. Some say that it has outlived its usefulness. So there was a need for the constitution to be amended. And in fact, there was a first review that happened in 2011. We didn't see its fruitfulness. Then another review was commissioned by former President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. It didn't also see its usefulness. Then the president came in and said he wanted to see a review of the constitution. So the committee was formed to submit or go around the country, take recommendations, and then submit it and look at portions that should be amended. And Khadija, we've seen the committee's report coming in, and some very interesting recommendations have been made out of it. Yeah, some very interesting recommendations have been made out of that.
And like we said, maybe in the coming year, would pick the recommendations one after the other.
I mean, we've done that, but we maybe because the president says he will form the implementation committee next year, early next year, to look at which portions of the report can be implemented, right? And when that committee is formed, then we might have to relook at the constitutional review report. But we've been able to break down the major portions because first is the extension of the presidential term from 4 to 5 years, decoupling parliament from the executive and the presidency, making sure that no MP, no MP is given ministerial position and all of that. There's some very consequential recommendations in that, and we would look that also make the news along, especially this part of the year, the later part, December. The report just came in like 2 weeks ago, so it made the news in this December. But you see that from oral we started seeing the AG, Yoko, and the NIB starting investigations. That's where the whole news started. That's where the minority said they were feeling
on these. I would want to pick your thoughts on some of these investigations. You were there when the NPP, I won't even say picketed. They stormed, they demonstrated when the Ashanti regional chairman was arrested, was detained.
At Yoko.
Yes, you followed some of these Yoko conversations. What was the perception that the people were having? Because so many people were around, apart from the NPP people. What was the kind of perception that these detainments brought up?
One thing, legitimate concerns were the manner and nature in which the arrest took place. For Chairman Unchimi, for instance, he was invited by the police, and I think he missed his first invitation to appear before the CID. It was the police who invited him. He missed it. Then they gave him another date, and that day had not reached yet. And they stormed his house to go and arrest him, right? And they arrested him and sent him to Iyoko. He was being detained at Iyoko for more than the 48 hours required. Then later we saw that Iyoko says that a bail condition of about 50 million Ghana cedis was placed on him. A condition the minority bemoaned was outrageous and excessive. Under the law, bills are not meant to be excessive. They are not meant to be punishment. They are more or less seems to be a way of getting the suspect to cooperate with the investigative body. But if you use your bill to punish the suspect, you are infringing on the person's right, because at the end of the hearing or the trial, what if the person becomes innocent, or the allegations you have laid against the persons are not tested or founded or there's no evidence to support that. So it means that you have trampled upon the person's right. So that whole process, for me personally, I think the Iyoko and NIB were doing their job, because their job is to investigate corruption related cases, and his case was not even corruption, it was related to money laundering and all of that. However, the nature in which they did it seemed to suggest that they were trying to send a message that yaba na yaba. We are coming yes, our government is in power. Right. We show you where power lies, and it wouldn't be out of place, because to me was very outspoken in the president's Akufo-Addo's administration. Very outspoken, and he used some unprintable words against persons in the NDC prior to the election. So it seemed to suggest that they were sending him a message that you are no more in power. The power you wielded, or the nature and how you were talking when you were in power, you can't do that now. We are in power. I want to show you some muscles a bit. And that's for me, that's how I felt. But I felt like the Yoko was doing their job, but just that the nature in which they
conducted
did that
these things
was a bit problematic. Even lawyers had questions with the bail conditions, and also the Yoko not willing to bring down the bail conditions. Yoko was supposed to at least hear the cry of the suspect and say, okay, let's lower the bail conditions for them.
Okay, now let me ask Khadija. We saw all of the raids that happened. The former governor of the Bank of Ghana, this person here, this person there.
Even in Tim
Fordjo's whose raid was.
I think that led to the Yensue Hunehuna demonstration.
Yeah.
I went there with the team, and the supporters of the New Patriotic Party are saying that this is actually a motive by the governing NDC to humble, intimidate them. Yes, so they are not scared of intimidation whatsoever. And yes, the bail conditions, these were concerns, issues that came out when Dennis Marajo was interviewed during the demonstration. He actually bemoaned the fact that the bail conditions was high, and that it looked as if it was being used to punish these suspects, as Samir rightly said, that what if you are done with your investigations and then you find out that this suspect is actually innocent. I think Wuntumi's arrest came about the fact that allegations were leveled against him with regards to galamsey, illegal mining, Akwanta mining, and it became an issue when MPP was in power. Most of the concerns that were raised was that because his government is in power, that's how come he's being shielded. Now a new government is in power. The NDC made a whole lot of noise about this issue. Now they want to prove a point that we said that we were going to go after Untumi and our contaminant, and the fact that they are destroying our water bodies and forest reserve. Now we are in power, so we want to do that. You know, so they are saying that it has nothing to do with political witch hunting, but on a larger scale, people say that this is political witch hunting. You are trying to humble and intimidate Hunting. Don't forget that prior to the elections, he sat on his radio station, said a whole lot of things, big things. Now, we see a calm Huntumi now.
Very calm Huntumi. He's not looking like a pastor. He looks like a pastor now. And let's continue from here. Let's look at the next item on our slide. Now let's come to the economy. The things we saw in 2025, when the first budget of the administration was read, people were so happy. It was a lot of people, because especially the entrepreneurs.
Samir, you are part.
Oh no, I don't.
Especially Samir is not an investor.
I'm not.
He said it so many times in the nation that he's not an investor.
You are scared of risk, taking risks.
I'm not really, but
for that, I don't believe in that. I can even speak for Samir. So many times he's doing.
I don't believe in those things. Just that I don't believe in them. But yes, we saw the first budget. We saw the abolition of some taxes, the e-levy. I was particularly happy that the e-levy didn't live to see the day after the first budget. Immediately the e-levy was abolished. I was very happy.
Were you part of the people who avoided sending people over money because of e-levy?
Something
I didn't. I actually sent money.
I can speak on that. Samir is one of the people who loves using mobile money. One day I said, Samir, why don't you like carrying cash? I think if Samir could buy air with mobile money,
I will.
With his mobile wallet, he would.
In fact, I even if you ask me to buy pure water with Mumu,
sometimes I wonder if e-levy actually defeated the whole purpose of digitalization.
Sometimes, yes, it did, because the digitalization was encouraged what you call a digital transfer, digital transactions. With e-levy, some people stop transacting on the digital platform, because at every point they were supposed to pay a certain amount. When they passed the threshold was 100 cedis per day. So the moment you pass 100 cedis, you pay e-levy
Well,
on
some
it.
people actually found ways around the
Yeah, people always find ways around it. You know, the Ghanaian nature in us, we always try to cut corners, right? And people did. The emission tax was also removed, a tax that was imposed on what do you call it? Those who use vehicles, right? And this tax was on fuel. Those who use vehicle to a certain, their tank level to a certain level, they were paying taxes on that. Betting tax or betting levy, yeah, where the betpreneurs were so happy that they went. I for once didn't support the removal of it.
Why didn't you support?
Because I believe that the moment you are making
you are
income,
encouraging.
no, not even about that. The moment you are making income, you're supposed to pay taxes.
Tax on
your salary is taxed. So why is someone making income through betting?
But they make losses sometimes.
Yeah, so when you make loss, when you invest, a normal investment outside betting, when you do investment and you make losses, it's losses. When you make profits, you pay taxes.
The investors won't be happy with you.
Yes, but I wasn't happy that the betting tax was taken out. But the government promised it in the lead up to the election, so when they just had to deliver on their promise. And I understand political delivery, that we make promises, you deliver on them. It's as simple as that. Right. So they made a promise to abolish those taxes, and they deliver. Another thing we saw was the
I'm forward to when the D-levy, as the NPP call it, was to be abolished. Yesterday on our conversation about tour, discussed about there not being a sunset clause for that. So
maybe the next budget or so.
I hope the next time we are having another review, our own review, will be adding it to abolish.
One tax that didn't see its removal in 2025 was the COVID levy. Now, COVID levy will be removed 2026. It was part of the 2026 budget, but in 2025 it existed. The government didn't remove it immediately, so it means that from 1st January, when the budget kicks in, when the 2026 budget kicks in, it has been approved already, right, by Parliament. When it kicks in, COVID levy would go. We saw the 24-hour economy. ABENA, that was a government pioneer, what they call it, policy coming into the elections, and there has been some, would I say, mixed reactions around the 24-hour economy throughout the whole 2025. At the beginning, in the first budget, the NPP alleged that nothing much was said about 24-hour economy. And I was at the reading of the budget in Parliament. After the budget, questions were asked, so where is the 24-hour economy located in the budget? Then the response from the government was that they will come to lay a policy on the document on the 24-hour economy, and that there is a secretariat under the presidency, the 24-hour economy secretariat. They will come and lay out their document and everything around the 24-hour economy. So in the 2025 budget, when it was read, I think later in February or March, the 24-hour economy was seen to be missing. Then later, the secretariat, the leader of the secretariat, Gusitano, right? He went to Parliament to present. It was not even a policy document, but to give an update on the 24-hour economy. That also took center stage. And up to now, people are asking, where is the 24-hour economy? One job, three shifts, one job, three shifts, three people, right?
That was a very good policy.
Yeah,
and I had hopes on that policy.
So you still have hope in it?
Well, I think the government has a lot to do in proving some of us wrong, because that's a very good policy. It will actually reduce unemployment in the country.
No problem about that. I mean, for employment, see, it will provide employment, but that people want to see it reflecting. One thing is, there's one thing about promising, and then the implementation, and the nature in which it is implemented. Because the plan or the promise was one job, three people, three shifts. Now, what we are seeing is not the same thing. Let's not mince words.
So don't lie to us.
Let's not. Yes, that we need to perhaps give them the benefit of the doubt, give them some time to truly implement the 24-hour economy.
That could have been very great in the transport sector.
Yeah.
Considering the fact that every now and then there are commuters stranded.
Yeah.
at dawn when we are coming to work, it's terrible on the stretch of Teshin thereabout. If this 24-hour economy takes effect in our transport sector,
it will help.
It will help a lot.
No doubt about that.
I was talking to the PRO of Ayalolo, and Techi was saying that they have plans of implementing the 24-hour economy, but how sustainable is it, Abena? I'm looking at the fact that even though we are saying three people, 3 shifts, we are not seeing the 3 people, we are seeing the shifts. Even the shifts, Abena, are you seeing the shifts?
So that's the problem. We're not seeing all of these
argument. I think about a week ago on the midday news, Peggy was interviewing the deputy director for elections
for the
NIT for the NDC, and she brought up the 24-hour economy, and he gave a response that all of them have been given so far. It is not a destination, it's a continuum. But it's been a full year for a flagship policy of the government.
It should have been the first.
It's like tax abolishing, right? Government was very vocal on e-levy. And so as soon as government came, e-levy was abolished.
But there is also the caution that policies like this, you don't need to rush them.
Well, I fully understand that.
And then make sure that everything is ready before it fully kicks off.
Right.
If I was launched on the Republic Day, you remember Ghana's Republic, 1st July. That was when the launch took place. That was when the launch took place. The president launched it with Busitano, and but after the launch, we've not seen its effect in the various sectors like Khadija mentioned. Because the promise was that in the manufacturing industries and all of that, we will see people going to jobs in 3 shifts. One person will work from this time to this time, close. Another person comes to take over. Another person. What we are seeing is not that. Even governments or state-owned enterprises, this company that produces beverages, alcoholic beverages, Gihog has even rescinded on the 24-hour economy. They started it. They started the implementation, but they had to rescind on it because demand for their produce is not there yet. So one thing people have always said that 24-hour economy is demand driven. So when you get the demand, that's where you will expand production. But if there's no demand, you can expand production. But Abna, we wait to see 2026. Maybe we'll see much more on the 24-hour economy. Another thing that happened in education, let's quickly do this. We saw the 2025 WASI result, very unimpressive WASI result, one that cast a very bad shadow on Ghana's education system. People feeling portal, like, I mean, it was that bad.
I know that Sammy has become emotional. He has moved away from the very nice words to use it.
It was that bad.
We have some of them watching us and listening to us. I don't think that anybody wanted to fail an exam, right? We've talked so much about exam and the things that happen. I wonder how they are feeling by now, Sammy.
It was that bad. The result.
Do we have any psychological help to give?
No. For me, I think that the student themselves needs to sit up, because
the overdependence on the APO is too much.
And not even the APO, the social media usage has become too much, and most of them don't learn. It's the truth.
What is your skill for measuring?
Because I don't have the data.
The data, you're a data man. So why are you saying that most of them don't?
In fact, but we've seen education think tanks like EduWatch come to say same thing. So I'm not saying it out of the vacuum. Even IFES have said similar thing, that the students these days, most of them are not learning, and they are almost all the time on their devices, on their social media, TikTok and all of that, and learning is reducing. Attention to books and school materials or school activities is reducing in our schools. For some, the 2025 WASI was a true reflection of.
I first said they saw that coming long
time. It was a true reflection of our education system. Some say that the previous administration tempered with the result, so we're not seeing the true reflection of who our students in high school are. But this government has allowed the thing to go try and make sure that, in fact, no malpractice happened, no tampering happened, and nothing happened. Hence, we are seeing the actual reflection. And it was, for me, a very big wake-up call for our education sector. We need to rise up. We need to change we can't allow this to happen the next year.
Can you please go ahead?
Yeah, I think I also agreed when I first said they saw that coming long ago. Because I think that the first batch of free senior high school, they did so well. Now, it's a good thing. We're all happy to see that great result. But thinking about the fact that the teachers were understaffed, the students were many, and so
double track.
Yes, the double track system, it was a whole lot of burden on the teachers. And then these students coming up doing so well when their results was released, it raised a lot of questions.
Yeah,
it raised serious concern. And those people, those who raised these pressing concerns, were tagged as anti-government.
Yeah.
You don't want the government to succeed. The children have done well, at least praise them, pat their backs, encourage them to do more. So of course, this was seen coming. And 2025 was a true reflection of the results that we have not been seeing since the implementation of free senior high school.
So you are going to place it at the doorstep of free SHS?
No, I wouldn't say that. You know, myself, I agreed when education watchers said that the whole system needed to be reviewed. You know,
the whole SHS system
had to be looked at, because it's opened the doors for students who performed poorly in BEC to enter into senior. And these professors and doctors in universities are saying that these products of free senior high school go to the university and can't even spell their right, construct sentences correctly.
And they are not making it out. They are not speaking out of vacuum. I've been in school and I've seen it. Some come and you ask them, so how did they get here?
Yeah.
But they passed the WASI.
Yeah.
So
you see their grades A, B, B, and then you try to assess them, see how they think about certain issues, and you're asking yourself, who marked this person's papers?
So for me,
like I will not be given any opinion on this matter. So I loved hearing what you had to say.
In the education sector, we saw salaries of unpaid salaries of arrears, not arrests, sorry. Arrears of some newly posted teachers. You remember the whole conversation about when this new government came to, when the government came to power, there was a circular that all employed people who are newly recruited should go back and sit home until they reassess their employment status and call them back. Teachers, nurses, public sector workers were all affected. Those who were newly employed, those who were employed days before the elections or after the elections, were all asked to go. In fact, it was after the election, those who were employed after December 7th were asked to go and sit home and they reassess. Some teachers were in this category and their arrears have been owed up to now.
11 months.
11 months, they've not been paid. They asked to go back and work. They've been working. ABENA, and it is for me one of the most unfortunate situations that will ever happen to anybody. And for me, a country that treats its workforce like this, each teachers like this, that country is not worth dying for.
You know, the last time we spoke with the university teachers, the university, those who have graduated, Zoranu, it was very disheartening, especially listening to him and the frustration, working 12 months and receiving only 1 month's salary, having to go to school every day to impart knowledge. And then I think about our parents and who have sent their children to school. You want your children to get an education. The teacher comes, the teacher is frustrated, is not fulfilled. But you're also home thinking that your child is getting the best. And I'm sure the teachers are putting in their best. But you see, if your energy is not there and it's waning, at some point you will give up.
You will give up. You will give up.
We don't want a point where opportunities come up in other areas outside of the country. And all our teachers leave us.
And ABENA, it's sad to see our teachers ranting on the media. You know, we respect our teachers a lot. We respect them a lot. So seeing them, expressing their frustration. They are on TV saying that they have not been paid. It's actually very disheartening to listen to these teachers, even if it's a month or two. It's not easy. 11 months.
11 months. And
you
have family. You need to remit to your family, back pay rent, take care of your kids. Even if you were living alone and you did, and somebody had even given you a place to stay, you still need to eat. You need to do something, and so it's very important that we take care of that.
That is one of the things that happened in 2025. Another thing in the education sector was when GTech started clamping down on on-end certificate and PhDs. You remember that whole thing? It was quite
it was a lot
embarrassing.
Sammy actually likes things like this.
Yes, because
Sammy believes that
if you don't earn it,
why do you put it?
Don't use it. If you have not gone to a school to achieve a certain certificate, be it PhD degree, masters, whatever, HND, don't use it attached to your name.
Viewers, the day you see that Sammy has anything attached to his name, you should be rest assured
that
Sammy earned it.
Yes, I'm not going to put PhD on my name when I've not earned it, bro. When I've not earned it. So for me, I was particularly happy when GTech started it, and it affected people I know, people who have been speaking to.
Some of them were genuinely scammed in the process.
And for somebody like Kanko Rashid Computer, I've been speaking to him and I've been calling him dog. All of a sudden, I realized I can't call him Doc again.
And it was
bothering me, but I was happy that GTech is taking them, because there are a lot of fake PhD holders in Ghana. Fake, what do you call it? Like we have certificate holders in Ghana. Remember, doctor, or what do you call it? Even we have fake doctors.
Yes.
The one who was doing surgery and all of this.
But you know, like
it took what's the name? Manasseh Azuri's investigation to uncover that he's a fake doctor, and he had a whole hospital, big one. People were going there, and he was treating them.
Like Khadija was saying, just do what you need to do to get it. Unfortunately, you know, some people there wasn't their. I mean, as much as you are happy to calm down for the people, it was a shock to them.
Okay.
Yes, you are sitting down, you think that you have worked hard, somebody has given you something. But I agree with Sammy, please be vigilant.
Yeah.
Check.
These online universities, it's very difficult to detect that these institutions are
accredited.
They're not accredited. It's a scam. You've been paying fees, attending online lectures, writing thesis, just for you to find out that you've been scammed. It's very unfortunate.
But I was happy GTech did that. Let's quickly look at the other sectors and the things that transpired. ABENA Galamsey was remains to be one of the topical issues in 2025. Right from the beginning, CSO demanded a state of emergency declaration, as was promised by the NDC administration when they were in opposition. CSOs demanded that a state of emergency be declared on Galamsey illegal mining. I mean, we didn't see it happen. It didn't suffice. It was a very from January to December now, Galamsey has continued to be on top of the discussions.
So the president said that if his council of states tell him to declare a state of emergency, he will gladly do that. As to whether they will advise him to do that is a question that we need to ask ourselves.
They have not exhausted all the measures, avenues to resolve the Galamsey issue, and the last measure will be a state of emergency declaration. Remember that meet the press that he did, his first encounter with the media at the Jubilee House, where that question was, I said, we have not exhausted everything. We are doing this, we are doing a NIMOS, Blue Water Gas, ABC, and all of that, and we are waiting to see. If it get worse and worse, then we declare a state of emergency. For now, it is not on the table.
Talking about NIMOS, I was listening to Dr. Samuel Efriye on our ABC in the morning, sometime not just a while ago, some days ago or weeks ago, and he said something interesting, that NIMOS need to be resourced well.
That's true.
Because their job is very tempting. Imagine going to clamp down on illegal mining and they are bribing you with stash of cash, gold. You'll be tempted.
Oh, yeah, you will be tempted.
Me, I won't be tempted. I'm a true believer. I'm a Muslim. And to think that our forest reserves, our water bodies is being destroyed, it boils down to the fact you think that you will be thinking that it will only affect the people in these Galamsey areas, but sometimes you turn on your tap in Accra here and the water is not as clean as you want it to look like. So
where I
it's
stay,
that bad.
let me just keep in where I stay. Water has always flowed regularly. It has always flown regularly. The only days we don't get water is Saturdays. Since I started staying there, that was from 2023 till now. But some part of the year, this year 2025, coming from somewhere in April all the way to this year,
affected me as well.
The flow of water has been irregular. For I think for like 2-3 days now, water has not flowed in our house. And I suspect that it is Galamsey because Ghana Water Company has been lamenting. In fact, it has resulted in the increase in tariffs, water tariffs, about twice this year. You know,
somebody is making money from our land and our water. We are suffering.
PURC has increased water tariffs about twice this year, and it's as a result of this.
Galamsey.
And we are expected to see another increment from January 1st, 2026.
Oh Lord!
So for the Galamsey issue there, we'll continue to pay for it. Now, one tragic incident that happened was the helicopter crash. It dominated the news for some weeks. When we saw
it was a sad day for Ghana.
It still breaks my heart.
We saw 8 gallant men, 2 ministers, 3 crew members, and some 3 other government officials were caught up in that helicopter crash on their way to deal with Galamsey. That was the crime. Their crime was that they wanted to deal with Galamsey. And it saddens me that after all of that, we are still seeing Galamsey happen.
At least that should have been a sign for us to
take it
fight
Galamsey
very well.
If there are 2 things, no, I would say just 2, maybe 3, and I see them on your screen. 3 things that this year really stressed me. The fire outbreaks, right from the beginning of the year.
1st January.
I can't count the number of times I've had conversations about fire on this network. The helicopter crash, and then the stampede at Elwak.
So all these things,
they are captured there. There are things that break my heart a lot when it comes to national conversation, because some of these things
are preventable,
avoided. As for the helicopter crash, I mean, if they were not doing a program for that, I don't think that these persons would have sat in.
And the findings of the committee, there was a committee that's supposed to investigate what happened. The results or the findings says that basically it was the weather condition on that day, which was not so good. And when the helicopter was flying at a certain altitude, it lost the vision reduced, right? And there was a sudden change in the wind situation there. So the weather condition didn't also help there. That resulted in the crash. But for me, yes, on that day it was a weather condition, but the underlying issue is Galamsey. If there was no Galamsey, Mutala and Omanibuama and the rest wouldn't be traveling on that day for that event.
An event to all of these. That's why I think that we are really dealing with Galamsey with kid gloves. We always bring in interventions. The people need jobs. So those of us who don't have jobs, have we gone to engage in Galamsey?
If we want to talk about this, so let's go. We saw, like you mentioned, military stampede at Elwak, very preventable. And it took the death of 6 women, females, for people to begin to think and know that, okay, we can actually sectionalize the recruitment process.
I saw that they were having the body selection. I said that the parents, the family members of the ladies who died, when they come across this news, how would they feel? I watched the funeral services of some of them, and you could feel you could feel the grief that had enveloped the family. It
has engulfed the families.
And a week after the tragic event, we go there to report on its resumption, the recruitment process, and you see structured queues, you see military police all around, ensuring that you could do all of this, and we had to wait for 6 young, promising ladies to die before we had to.
But we can also put this at the doorstep of unemployment.
Yeah.
Because
they were driven by hardship.
There's no employment in the country. Look at the number of people.
For me, I feel like the state exploited a lot of the young ones. Because truth is, per what we know, the recruitment will not go about 5,000. But they sold close to 90,000 plus. What do you call it? Forms. Application forms.
How much is the form? 200, 300 cedis?
200 cedis.
200 cedis.
My kid brother bought one. 200 cedis. And he went to Tamale. He went to stay in Tamale for 3 days before he could get screened. When a message could have just been sent that come on this particular day, when they are just sectionalize it, know that this person comes here, this person comes there. They didn't do that.
After they had
the first day they all went and they didn't get it. They went the second day, they didn't get it. I had to take the third day before he got screened and all of that. So for me, what pains me is that nobody has taken the blame in terms of resigning. Nobody has taken the account. No, all that we heard was that some people have been asked to step aside for investigations to continue. Papa, 2025 is ending. We've not heard the findings of the report. Have we seen it?
We asked the Deputy Defense Minister.
Yeah, he said
soon. We asked him how soon. We
still
haven't seen it. We are still waiting for the committee's report.
Trust me, nobody will resign because of. Nobody will be fired. Nobody will lose their job. It will be business as usual. Then we saw the fire outbreak at Kantamanto and the doom in Kumasi. Abena, it was very disheartening.
People's property, businesses,
their capital. But one thing I really appreciate when it comes to our market people is the tenacity.
When they lost, the next day they started rebuilding.
Yes, but resilience. It's still the same.
We needed the state to take over the rebuilding.
Have you gone to Kantamanto, Sami?
I've not been there since. I've been there immediately after the fire.
Well, I went there a few weeks ago. I was walking through. Wow.
It is still
the same.
They rebuilt it themselves.
To the old structures.
No lanes, nothing.
That is where the problem is.
If fire starts today,
it will
ravage the place.
Now, where will the fire service pass to, solve the whole situation?
That we never learn our lessons. If you go to Kumasi too, the same thing, it will be the same thing. And fires have occurred this whole year. And when we talk about these things on the news, the fire service will come. I remember the GO2, Desmond Aka will come and tell us let's do this. Let's rebuild our market. Let's ensure that market has lanes for fire service, fire tenders to pass through, and the conversation will happen. We go and we sleep, and it is business as usual.
2026, we hope it is better.
Boku conflict. It's been topical throughout the year for major reasons. The killing of people. In fact, at the beginning of the year, a lot more people started dying. There was a lot of shooting, killing, Boku was always in the news every now and then. And Boku has always been there.
Sammy, when you are reporting on issues like this, when you've put together the news as a team and we have to sit and talk about it. Sometimes it's
sensitive to report on.
Yes, and it's also depressing sometimes. When every day you need to give the death toll. This person has died.
And we're doing graphics on how many people have died, when did they die, what happened, and all of that. And luckily or fortunately, that Santihini mediation process started along the year. It ended not quite long ago. He submitted his report to the presidency, making some recommendation. We are seeing those recommendations being acted upon, although there have been some pushback from some factions. We hope that calm will prevail. And yesterday the summer pit, and it was peaceful. We hope that from summer pit, the two factions will smoke the peace pipe.
Because these are people who have been intermarried. They are family members.
We smoke the peace pipe, and we move on from there. Health-wise, we saw the strike. The Ghana registered nurses went on strike. They had their whole issue with the health minister and his posture.
Back and forth.
They didn't like the posture of the health minister and everything. So then we saw the zipline drone delivery contract being, say, the government wanted to cancel it. In fact, three or four of zip lines, what do you call it, centers have been closed down across the country, and so far they are operating at half, what do you call it, capacity.
I have a lot of issues with the health sector. Actually, I've gone to the hospital a couple of times this year, government hospitals, and they can't find a folder. All of our records are gone.
Yeah, the government, the old system is they are changing to a new system, so they are migrating to a new system.
Have you gone to the hospital this year, a government hospital?
This year, I don't think so.
Okay, when you go, it's one of the reasons why anytime we are talking about it, I'm quite passionate about it. Looks like the hospitals have to come up with their own system measures to put down our records. The first time I was so surprised, they were writing.
It's been long since we write.
Yeah, and if we are going into a new system, we might as well do it quickly. They have, because this is people's lives. They don't have nothing to refer to. Somebody is coming for a review. They'll meet a different doctor. If there were a system, they'll just put in your card number, and then they can see everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing there at this point. And so the health minister should please speed up the work so that we will have our health record.
The last time we spoke to them, they said that they were migrating. They were about 60% done. Maybe by end of this year, they will be 100%.
I don't want to mention the names of the hospitals I have checked, but it doesn't look like it is. Yes.
All right. Let's look at the final portion quickly. So we've done health, we've done education, we've done governance, politics and security, energy. At the beginning of the year, we saw Dumso. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We saw Dumso, and then it had to take the intervention of the energy minister and all of that. He came in along the line promising that they will find a solution to Dumso, and in fact, they've been able to manage the Dumso situation. Just that in recent time, people have started experiencing it once, isolated cases of Dumso. But at the beginning of the year, it was that high.
Yes.
The Dumso situation was that high, and it became very trendy. It became one of the popular things people were talking about on social media, on TV, and all of that. Then ECG, missing ECG containers. Do you remember that? That whole saga, where are the containers? Containers don't have wings, and all of that. There was a committee that was set up to investigate them. They found some of them in some locations, make some arrests. Some Chinese people were involved. Arrests were conducted and all of that. In fact, the Minister for Energy and Green Transition said that they had referred the docket to the Attorney General to commence investigation because they suspected some illegality happening in there. So one of the things that trended in the beginning of the year was that missing ECG containers, and the minority jumped on it and they did a lot of politics and all of that around it. It became a very trendy thing. The introduction of ABENA D-levy, the energy sector levy, or the 1 cedi petroleum levy, or the D-levy.
Yes, because I'm a very strong advocate for public transport and for the passengers.
Yes.
Because of how drivers and their mates treat us.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah.
We'll buy our car.
So with the D-levy, 2026, we are playing up.
And how they jump on the smallest thing to increase
the fare.
Yeah.
And so
you fear that
this
the
one
moment they introduce the 1 cedi levy, the drivers will say.
And we needed to see a sunset clause. A levy was passed, many conversations, no sunset clause. And if I were the one talking about it, maybe you'd say that ABENA just doesn't want to pay taxes. But these are industry players who say that there should be a sunset clause. Because you see, in the first budget, Association of Ghanaian Businesses, AGI, of Ghanaian Industries, were complaining about the sunset clause, forgotten the name of the levy, that had been extended to 2028.
Yes, I remember the sustainability levy.
Thank you very much. They were unhappy about it. They didn't have one and it's been extended. This levy does not have a sunset clause. And so we should know. That's why 2 days ago, in speaking to COPEC, I asked that now that, was it yesterday? Now that TOR is
coming back.
Is resuming refinery. Is it going to be something that will help us see the abolishment of this one Ghana cedi petroleum levy? And so it's from a very good place when I ask these questions.
Yeah. So we saw that a lot of people were not happy because we saw it's like they took e-levy, two betting tax, and brought one cedi levy.
And we don't talk about this much because you see it's not coming from when we are sending money. Yes.
And everybody thinks, oh, it's 1 cedi. What is 1 cedi? But
every liter of fuel you pay 1 cedi on it. Is that huge?
Yeah.
If you drive a car, you will get to understand.
Sami is telling us something.
You will get to understand it. Now in the agri sector, we saw the launch of the popular
Peggy's favorite.
Yes, I wish Peggy were.
Peggy likes this.
I've seen I don't know whether I've seen some social media pictures of the Akesia. They've now what they call it, transformed them into a cold store and all of that. I think I saw it on the Greater Accra Regional Minister's status.
Okay.
I saw it.
Sami is trying to tell us that the minister has changed his number. Yes. We appreciate that. You know, as a producer, yes, but as a producer, Sami, let me just bring this in. He's doing a very great job staying in touch with all of these duty bearers to get them to speak with us. And we can't thank him enough, Sami.
I've seen her. She posted it during the Christmas. That's what they are using to celebrate the Christmas.
And the coupon getting that's
okay. It was nice to see it. It was nice to see that it was packaged in a rubber format and it was actually written on it. Well,
you know, I am glad you mentioned code facilities. We need a lot of code facilities. We need to invest a lot into our agric sector. Again, ABC has been very, very vocal about agric, and a lot has to be done from the farm gate right to where we buy. We need to do a lot on it. If we are going to breed a lot of Nkoko, Nkoko don't have a very long lifespan. And so we need to have facilities that we can store.
Because the market is there.
It is.
Ghanaians like
chicken roll.
We eat chicken raw.
We like chilling.
You
you owe me Christmas gift. Hey. You know, you see, they are guilty.
Wait.
You owe me Christmas gift because I don't understand why it's Christmas. And my Christian friends, my Christian brothers and sisters keep asking me, where's my Bronya day? When it's Salah, you ask me, where's my Salah day? You guys have been unfair to us.
Oh, so you owe me. We don't need any issue that we ambush that on set.
You owe me.
You promise.
Sami owes me.
We hear you. Now, so the Nkoko Akesia is the activity has transformed to Akesia. For me, one thing I like is to see a program sustained over the period. Let's not let this end here. Let's push more into it. Let's invest into our great sector.
We should
and make sure that it's sustained because we have a market for poultry consumption.
I don't know, Sami, are you familiar with Darko Farms?
Yes.
Okay. So Darko Farms is on the Laboni Road. I remember as a young girl, my parents used to buy a lot of chicken from Darko Farms, and I loved the taste. Darko Farms is Ghanaian owned. It would have many Darko Farms running on. Those who are in this program, yes, I'm sure those in this program, if we inject some money into them or we give them the leg to stand on, they can build something great.
So it's a very good initiative.
It is.
Egg consumption is on the rise in Ghana.
It's not on the rise. It's always been on the rise.
People like breakfast, chibom, then you fry the eggs.
If we go to this part, can you just
I like to chill.
Even fufu, we eat eggs.
Ghanaians like egg. Nigerians always say that Ghanaians.
Yesterday, so I'm guilty.
Hey,
I ate fufu with egg. Let's go.
Chilling.
let's go. Let's look at the last portion because I am interested in the last one because of this. These people, what they have done to us.
I mean, start with communication.
What they have done to us.
Start with communication and digital space.
AFCON is going on, and we can't. We are see. I can tell you that I've not watched more than 2 matches in this AFCON because Ghana is not there.
Sammy, start with communication and digital space and come back to
Blasters.
Something should have been here.
Now, the year also saw the DSTV pricing saga. Sam just said DSTV reduce your prices. DSTV said okay, we will do that, but they were pulling their legs small. They don't want to. They won't. And it became a back and forth issue. Some judge will write to them. They reply. In fact,
it on social media.
And it became a banter between DSTV and Sam George. But one thing Sam George did was that he stayed on the issue. He pressed on them. They had meetings on it, and there was a committee that was set up to negotiate the reduction. And at the end of the day, they were able to get some. What do you call it? Value reduction, not price reduction, but the value, the packages, the value that was bought at the prices reduced, or more channels were added to the new to packages to upgrade you to another package. So some people didn't see, were not so happy because they wanted to see a price reduction. But at the end of the day, some appreciated that yes, there was a reduction in the cost of the packages in terms of the value, and that if I was on one package, I was
get boosted to
the next package, and that was still some value added to the consumer. It became a whole issue. It took about close to a month or two before
there was a whole lot of back and forth. After the meeting with DSTV, they came out and said that it's a promo, making the minister
look like told lies to us. The minister said they had reduced the price. Then the DSTV released a statement that it was a promo. And after that statement, they came back to correct themselves.
It was confusing. It wasn't clear.
Yeah, they came back to correct themselves and all of that. So yeah, that was one of the things. Then internet data prices. We also saw advocacy for internet data to be reduced. It started on social. It started on social media. Oh, actually, yes, it was reduced. The package for NTN like this, the 399.
The value was increased.
Yes, but that is some reduction.
You see, I don't like the
value level.
No, the thing is, I don't like the psychological play things. Like if I say that this pen is 10 cedis, it's too expensive. High. Please reduce it.
You don't
we want the reduction to be 7 cedis. And you come and tell me that
you've
this pen has
10.
Yes, it has 10 mil of ink. That's why it's 10 cedis. So we are going to give you 15 mil of ink
at the same 10 cedis.
At 10 cedi or even 11 cedis.
You're playing with the person's mind.
In as much as you've done something, there was a specific request
for reduction. Yes. You can argue that. So that's what happened with the DSTV and the internet data. Internet data was not reduced in terms of the cost, that there was more value added to.
But who said the person had the money? You see, I don't have 10 cedis. So if you come and tell me that the pen is now bigger, still pay 10 cedis. The issue is that I do not have 10 cedis.
That's why I was asking for a price reduction.
I get your argument. I get your argument. So these were some of the concerns that popped up when this whole conversation started, and the prices or the values were upgraded and all of that. People still raised concerns about that. Then along the year also, we saw press freedom being under attack. We saw some journalists being beaten, even at the by-elections and the rerun in Ablukmanov.
The president has pledged to the protection of press people, especially as he says that he is a journalist himself.
He's even a part of GJ
and also
the member.
So it's one of the things that happened throughout the year.
But some of the
intermittently, we saw some journalists being attacked, some arrested. Recently, a blogger was arrested because he made a post about a minister. Even the Ashanti regional minister, a post was made about him. The one who made a post was being arrested He's under this group, Democracy Hub, and all of that. It doesn't sit well with me because I'm a journalist, and it is hard to see one of my colleagues being harassed in this manner and arrested, some beaten and all of that. It doesn't sit well. Journalists should be allowed to do their work.
ABENA Sami, in all of this, some of the arrests that were made this year was as a result of some people making life-threatening comments on social media. These arrests are justifiable because if you threaten the life of an individual, especially someone in higher authority, it's something that you should be called in for.
Those ones were made by the MPP, is it the MPP TikToker?
Yeah, and then
Fante,
and then Akosia Jollof or something.
When they made
and some other girls who made who made some unfortunate comments on social media. I think these people should be guided in as much as we are saying that there should be press freedom, there should be freedom of expression. Some of the comments should be guided.
Another one person that I didn't understand his arrest was Abrunye DC, because Abrunye didn't threaten anybody. He just
made allegations
and all of that
stuff,
and they pick him up. And
misinformation is not something you can arrest anyone.
No, yes, and that was the charge for misinformation.
Misinformation. Who says that?
Doesn't amount. It's not a criminal.
It's not a criminal offense.
Yes,
for you to be arrested
and then even detained
on misinformation.
It's quite worrisome to see some of these things pop up throughout the year. And lastly, our own blasters, the disappointing blasters, they disappointed us.
Soti is more pained. Soti is
the
more
blasters
pained
have
than
disappointed us. See, I didn't feel how would I call it? I didn't feel this disappointed when we didn't qualify for the AFCON. But as the AFCON is going on, then I'm seeing abunkle teams like Zimbabwe.
Don't say that.
I'm seeing
don't say that.
I'm seeing abunkle teams like Angola.
Don't say that, Sammy.
And Comoros. And all these people
tell him not to say that.
At Morocco, in Morocco, playing football.
I do not agree with that.
Then we are from that. Our Black Stars.
I associate with his pain because
we see the Black Stars sitting home. Then abunkle teams are in Morocco doing nothing.
The teams
Some are going to Zimbabwe is going.
The teams you are talking about, right? They also played in the qualifiers, and then they made it.
But in all of this, I'm saying that Soti should have been here because he is more passionate about Ghana missing out on AFCON more than you.
I'm so pained to see Black Stars not at this AFCON because this for me. We could have showcased it.
Is it the first time? Is it the first time?
Yes, in a very long while. The first time since 2004 or so that we have missed out from the AFCON. Over 2 decades, we've always been at the AFCON. And for the first time, Otuano failed to qualify for us. But because he's qualified for the 2026 World Cup, you see man, we should applaud him.
At least.
For what? For qualifying us to the World Cup and missing out on AFCON. Truth is, we are not going to win the World Cup.
Oh, don't say
that. Will you win it? You won't.
Let's have faith in the Black Stars.
Hey, madam.
See,
don't
you have faith in the Black Stars?
The reason why he says we'll not win it is because he wants Messi to
win. No. I don't even want Messi to win. It is one thing about having faith and one thing being real and realistic about yourself. You know your squad strength. You know who you are.
But miracles do happen.
Miracle doesn't.
Khadija, you're expecting miracles in FIFA World Cup.
Let's have some hope.
Such miracles does not happen in world football. When you are not good, you are not good. There's no miracle from anywhere. Black Stars will not win the World Cup. Yes, it's good. We're participating. We might get to the to the round of 16 quarterfinals. If we are even lucky, get to the semis. But we are not going to win it. And we've not won AFCON since 1980 something. Over 40 years, we've not won the AFCON. And we are struggling to get to win the AFCON, and we are not even making the.
The way you are saying we are
not even qualifying.
The way you are saying we will not win. It's disturbing because for someone,
Khadija,
we are not going to win. Khadija,
he's thinking they will not win.
It's not me. They will not. You will not. Even if Jesus comes to join the Black Stars team,
It's
you will not win.
As for that one,
You will win.
as for that
If
one,
Jesus joins us.
as a Christian, Jesus cannot be my gift for me to use. So
I am just making. I know I'm just being.
Sammy does not. Sammy is so pissed that Ghana is not of fun, and which is right. And which is right.
The point is, we are not going to win the World Cup.
So we should have been at the
AFCON and try our best to see if we can win
the
AFCON. In fact, no African team will win the World Cup in 2026. The closest that might come is either Morocco or Senegal, and I'm not sure they'll win it. So the World Cup participation is good, no doubt about that. But our focus should be winning AFCON, because I have not seen an AFCON with my eyes.
Which cup have you seen Black Stars?
So you see, you've not seen an AFCON. Nigerians have witnessed an AFCON 2013. I watched them score Burkina Faso and win the AFCON. 2023, Cote d'Ivoire did host and win. 2021,
Cote d'Ivoire win. Did you see that coming?
I didn't see it coming. That's why we should also be participating. 2021, Senegal won. 2019, Algeria won. 2017, Cameroon won. 2015, Ghana went to the final. We lost to Cote d'Ivoire.
I understand.
Under our own eyes, Cote d'Ivoire has won twice. Under our own eyes, Egypt has won like 4 or 5 times since.
So 2025 should have been for Ghana.
And then we are not even in the competition. So I'm disappointed. But Tuado, this is how we wrap up today's review. It's been a very long review. I hope our viewers enjoyed that.
I actually did.
I hope they did enjoy unpacking how the 2025 year has shaped up, the stories that have made the headlines and all of that. And we hope that all that has happened, we've learned something as a nation. The unfortunate incidences, the helicopter crash, the military stampede, the fire outbreaks, the post-election violence and all of that. As a nation, we have learned something that when we enter into 2026, we will not repeat such incidences, and we will move on. One thing I always say is that life is about moving on and making the next move. Let us not go back to the old ways. And politicians always like that. Oh, it happened in 2013. It happened in 2015. It was a learning point for us as a nation. It doesn't mean that because it happened in 2015, in 2025, repeat it. And then you do equalization. Let's not use the incidences in 2025 for equalization purposes in 2026 or any other year to come. So now, here's how we draw.
Well, I want to say a big thank you to you, Sammy. Thank you to you, Khadija, for joining me here today. I've loved it going through the year, and I'm sure a lot of us, because we've gotten to December, we've forgotten about some of the things that happened throughout the year. So I'm glad that we've brought it back to the forefront. The things we need to learn about, we will learn. The things we need to check, we will check, and then the things we would have to get better at, would get better. But yes, before we go, this year has been rough to a lot of young people in Ghana, and many people think that were unable to achieve their goals this year. 2025 has been very challenging to most people, let me say some. But my favorite quote from Mary Ann is that courage doesn't always roar. Courage is that little voice at the end of the day that whispers to you, I'll try again tomorrow, I'll go over it tomorrow. So, and to every young Ghanaian who thinks that this year has been rough to them, we go again next year. Go again.
Never giving up.
I'm glad Khadija brought it, because I was going to ask you to give our viewers your final thoughts before we go into the new year. So Khadija says that it is the small voice that speaks to you. And so we go again next year. Well, Sammy,
for me, I would say congratulations to us. For everybody that has lived the year 2025. Like Khadija mentioned, it's been a very up and down year, rough patches. A lot of things happened. People have lost their loved ones. People have missed out on opportunities. People have received some very sad news throughout the year. People got disappointed along the line. But congratulations that you are still here. You've not given up, and I hope you have not given up. Enter 2026 with new inspiration, with a new zeal to do something for yourself, get that target you want to achieve in 2026. Pursue it with all the things within you. I remember Prophet Osafo. He says that get what you want, get your target for the year, assemble the resources, and use the resources to push for that. So whatever you want to achieve in 2026, work at it. Because whatever you want to achieve is very achievable. There is nothing new under the sun. Whatever you want to do, somebody has done it before. So take inspiration from people and then step onto life. Never give up.
Thank you so much. It's really a good way to wrap up the year, and I thank you guys so much for doing ABC in the morning with you all and the production and technical team. Not everybody's face will come on TV, but a lot of things go into putting together this show, and I know we are not closing yet, but a big thank you to our viewers, Ami and Khadija. We are a relatively new station, a small station, but we've had some people who have constantly watched us, constantly given us feedback, enjoying what we have for them, and we can't say thank you enough. But let me say a big thank you to you guys for coming on and giving us the year 2025 in review. A big round of applause for Khadija Isifuanaba.
You like my number,
I do. And
I'm adding it to my name.
And Samuel Nima for coming and bringing us the year in review. Khadija, as for your Christmas gift, we most definitely will be bringing
I'll be waiting for it.
We'll bring it. Sami and I will bring your Christmas gift.
Say you will bring the Christmas
Sami.
gift. Adding me to
Sami.
it. Say you will bring the Christmas gift.
We had told Khadija her gift to come in, but Khadija had to come and ambush us on set.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
You didn't give me enough assurance, so I had to report you to our viewers so that they will bear witness that the two of you did not give me Christmas gift.
We will bring you the Christmas gift.
I've been waiting for it.
Well, thank you, viewers. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll bring you more on the show. ABC in the morning.
Rent back with the beer open. Come on, come see what? Where this guy? My friend, see before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to opt in and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto chiaka. Inti ene, uno banu mpe baby amubeda. Oh, no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Playing for your country, enye easy. Scoring, enye easy. Winning, enye easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Aye easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted groundnuts. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the Talking Point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Magic pepper and onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yen na da da da. So pa mediane no abin.
Come on, Gino, do your magic.
And papa no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Rent back with the beer open. Come on, come and see what? Where this guy? My friend, see before.
It's the Telestar Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telestar Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telestar Play app to opt in and start winning in the Telestar Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto chiaka. Inti ene, uno ba no mpe baby amobeda. Oh no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Back, you're still watching ABC in the morning. Now let's bring you some conversation. Gold Board is in the news, so much so. Sami Jemfi, the CEO of Gold Board, has been speaking through his words, writing on social media. He tells us that on 5th January, a lot of things will be made bare. But the issue is that IMF says Gold Board has made some losses, $214 million. Sami Jemfi does not agree to that. He says that Gold Board has rather made profits in excess. Let's have some conversation on that and also about the year. Very quick conversations. Joining me for this conversation, Janet Nabla, the founder of the People's National Party, and Dennis Kwakwa, former Ashanti Regional Communications Director for the New Patriotic Party. Lady and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this morning, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. Let me start with Janet. This issue about the IMF and also and Gold Board. Your party is calling for the abolition of Gold Board. Is it that you've not seen the good work, as they say, that Gold Board has done this year?
Let me greet you this morning and your viewers.
Thank you.
Let me also extend Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all your viewers this morning. If Gold Board has done things that are positive that I will have to see, then you will have to see it too, because you are also staying in this country, and whatever Gold Board is doing, I don't think they do it in secrecy. They do it for all of us to see. And what we have seen in the budget is that Gold Board has made a lot of losses. And we all have seen that ever since Gold Board came into place, the amount of illegal mining have increased. Ghana Water Company and other agencies came out to attest to this fact. So because of the water, the stability levels and other things have made us to realize that Galamsey has increased. It did not reduce, it rather increased. So when you look at Gold Board, and they said they buy their tons from where? They said they buy, they buy all the gold in the country, and you can't go anywhere to sell your gold apart from selling to them. So if Gold Board is saying that you can't go anywhere to sell gold apart from selling to them, it means the Galamseyers in the country are also selling to them. And what are they now doing? Increasing the rate of Galamsey. How can the one who is supposed to protect and cap Galamsey also be the same person buying gold from these Galamseyers? It is not just done anywhere. And our environment is being depreciated. Our environment is being put in a very bad state that if we stop Gold Board or if we dissolve that institution, I think that our water bodies will improve. Government can now have a moral right to go after these Galamseyers. You can't buy things from someone and be going after the person at the same time. It is not just right. And to me, morally, it's not right. And then you are talking about the good things they have done. They should mention one of the things they have done ever since they came into place that is good. Apart from the $214 million, about 2.5 billion that they have caused, financial loss they have caused to this country. This is unprecedented. That somebody within 5 months' time, they started around March, April. From April to September, they were able to cause an amount of 214. This is an entity that should be dissolved with immediate effect before they destroy the entire country. In fact, Gold Board is going to make sure that they put the Bank of Ghana in a very bad state that will have a replica and implications or effect on our economy. So I don't think that Gold Board, we should allow Gold Board to keep on operating. A board that can be able to cost 240 million within 5 months period. Oh no. I don't think so.
But
I don't think Gold Board.
Sami Gyamfi himself, the CEO of Gold Board, has refuted some of these the content in the report. Sami Gyamfi goes on and on. I'd want to read for you what he said so that we can appreciate his comments on this matter, if you would, ma'am. And so I'm going straight to his Facebook page where he talks a lot about this matter. He said that I've already been served notice. I will effective Monday, 5th January 2026, be responding and clarifying issues surrounding the IMF's reported loss of $214 million under the Gold for Reserves program of the Bank of Ghana, implemented in conjunction with the PMMC, now Gold Board. He says that he thought it prudent to give us a few things. Then he tells us about losses that had been incurred and what they had done as Gold Board. In 2023, there were losses. Gold for Reserve, 973 million losses. In 2024, 4.18 billion Ghana cedi losses. In 2025, he says that approximately 2.3 billion, that is 212 million dollars has been reported as losses. However, he says that this figure is unaudited. And so when we talk about all of these losses, it is not new. And so we should not place it at his doorstep as if Gold Board came into being and then Gold Board is running the country down. Isn't this enough to listen to?
That people can even give him space to say all these things when we know that the man doesn't know what he's talking about. Number one, you came out to tell us that what IMF said was not true. It never happened before. Then you came back to say that no, it was not Gold Board that made the losses. it was the Bank of Ghana that made the losses. When people pointed back to you that yes, they made the losses on your behalf, you came back to say that the amounts are not accurate. The amount is not 300 million. He wasn't talking on the 240 million. He started attacking the MPP. I think the MPP did some press conference. He started attacking them that it's not 3 million, blah, blah, blah. When did gold bust tax? That's what we are asking. When? Is it not April? Is it not April? So you are telling us that the IMF, they don't know what they are saying. You are the one who knows. But we all know that international community, the data of IMF, they don't take it from the moon. IMF cannot just sit in their office and concoct data for themselves. This data was arrived at by the report the Minister for Finance gave to IMF. IMF did not concoct this information. Where do you think IMF is going to get this information from? They got it from the Ministry of Finance. You see? So all what Sammy Jemfi is saying, I don't think we should pay attention to him because he has been shifting the post. He will say this and then later on he will deny it and go to this place. The whole of this Christmas, it has been a problem for him because when you tell the truth, you don't need a good memory. When you tell the right thing, if you speak the truth, you don't need a good memory to be able to remember things. Because Sammy Jemfi have been shooting himself in the foot. He will say this one and jump to another place. We are not talking about any 300 million. I saw it on his listing. We are talking about the $214 million the IMF have stated. And they said the Bank of Ghana incurred that loss on your behalf. So the fact that they said Bank of Ghana incurred it on your behalf, it doesn't mean you are not free. You see, if you buy gold, we have all seen the analysis the IMF have kept there. They talk about the takeover fees. How can you be a business entity and you'll be operating without talking about takeover fees? We talk about transportation, transactional costs, other things. How can you go and buy tomatoes in the market, in the farm, and you know very well that you have to transport the tomatoes? Security people will have to guide the tomatoes to the market. A lot of things will have to happen. So you will have to factor all those things into place when you are pricing the price of tomatoes. But Sammy Jemfi and the Gold Board, they don't do this. You see, they are not interested in thinking about how much we should buy. Do you know that gold is bought at a discount? And this one, Sammy Jemfi told us, it is not anyone who said it. Sammy Jemfi said gold was supposed to be bought at a discount. But the same Sammy Jemfi went and bought gold at a premium. When the world market, they were selling gold for $3,900. Sammy Jemfi and the Gold Board bought gold at $4,000. How can you be able to sell this gold to make profit? So when they took it to the world market, they had to beat it down to $3,900. So at the end of the day, those losses, transactional losses, Ghana, we have to to absorb it. Why?
Okay. Well, let me go to Dennis and also bring him into the conversation. Dennis, Sammy Jemfi has been responding to these matters, and he talks about 5th January being a day where he will talk about it the more. How about we hasten slowly and wait for when he speaks on the matter? After all, he is the CEO of Gold Board.
Good morning, and then Merry Christmas to
well, thank you, Dennis.
Your viewers and listeners. So you want to say that now Ghana is accountable to Sammy Jemfi and Sammy Jemfi is not accountable to us? Is that what you are saying? So that when we speak.
Well, let's give him some time. They talk about their reports being audited yet, and so if he's asking that he will be speaking on this matter in January. January is just around the corner. Don't you think it is right that Ghanaians hasten slowly on this matter?
If he decides to speak in March, we have to wait for him till March. I think the whole issue is something that is not supposed to surprise any one of us. The setup of the Gold Board in the first place was a scam.
How do you say so?
when President Mahama won power in December 2024. The first appointment that
Hello, Dennis.
The first with the mandate to the PMMC and then asked him to go ahead and establish the gold board. He didn't consider expertise, whether
Hello, Dennis, can you hear me? We seem to be having some challenges.
Yeah, I think I get challenges here too. So
Okay.
I hope you hear me now.
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes, I can.
I would say that the mandate that was given to Sami Jansi in the first place was to go and head the Precious Minerals Commission or company or something, and then later, the same letter that was announcing his appointment, the president mandated him to establish gold board without taking into account that the purchase and selling of gold is basically about trading. It does not only require law or any other background that Sami Jansi held. He put together a team that he called the Board of Governors or Board of Trustees, mainly people from the NDC. And they were only there to make sure that they take advantage of Ghana, scammers, take our gold, make themselves richer. At a point when they feel that they are satisfied, then they come back to the drawing board and begin to look at figures and see if gold board was going to benefit Ghana after all. And so Sami Jansi's demand for some time to come and tell us whether we made losses or not. Like my sister Janet has said, it has always been a delight listening to you. Good morning to you, Sister Janet. And I think it is something that is obvious. Sami Jansi has already entangled himself in a web that he'll find it very difficult to come out of. Sami Jansi has said many things within the last 2 days, and I don't know what else is coming to tell the people of Ghana in January, on the 5th of January. Yeah, and so let's ignore Sami Jansi and look at how the NDC government is shortchanging the people of Ghana. Joe Bahama came to power on the promise of dealing with Galamsey. And the last time we spoke on this platform concerning Galamsey, I said that yes, the president has made 2 emphatic points that should tell every Ghanaian that he has not got any feel of responsibility that he's going to fight Galamsey. He said that yes, there are 4 million people who are engaged in the Galamsey trade. If he, as a president and the government, were to abolish Galamsey in this country, what work were available for the 4 million people? And so Ghanaians must rethink. And then 2, he said that yes, we had the resources, but some foreigners were stealing it away from us. So it is better we get the gold proceeds to ourselves. And so 2 things: president is making money, and at the same time he thinks that the 24-hour economy is not doable. And so he better keep the 4 million people to destroy the environment, destroy the water. And then he serves his 4-year term. So what we are talking about here, I think, is something more crucial. Sami Jansi must not glorify himself. He must begin to rethink, reconsider whether he fits into the position that has been handed to him or not. If you are given a position in 9 months and you have caused this country to lose $214 million. $214 million in 6 months, going into 9 months. Sami must not be proud of himself. It's better he goes into hiding. He shouldn't speak at all. He shouldn't speak at all. And how did we get here? Don't forget, even the people who were destroying the environment by Galamsey, mining the gold illegally, came out to say that whilst the world market price of gold was around 12,000 Ghana cedis, Sami Jansi was paying them 8,000 cedis. And who is Sami Jansi in this case? We are talking about the company that was given the monopoly to buy gold in this country. The company that is owned by the Bowers. The Bowers who are associated to Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana. In the first instance, how they shortchanged the people of this country was that people who acquired the gold they make sure that they paid you less by 1/3 of what was being gold was being bought in the world market. Then how do they come to cheat Ghana? When we are buying the gold from this Galam say yes, we use the Forest Bureau exchange rates. That is always higher than the interbank rate. And so if the interbank rate is 10 cedis, 90 pesos, the Forest Bureaus are saying the exchange rate is at 11 cedis, 20 pesos. They will buy the gold at 11 cedis, 20 pesos. But when it comes to the time that they are selling the gold on behalf of this country, they go and sell it at 10.9. That means that they have already committed a debt of, let's say, some 30 pesos or more to the people of this country per just a single gram or I think kilogram of gold that was being spotted. They've done this for over 9 months. And Savage and Fee's argument that it is not 300, the 300 projection that was made by the MPP was to the effect that if we are to take 12 months into account, the IMF data says that it assessed Ghana as of the end of the third quarter. So as of the end of the third quarter, they have been able to verify some 240 million loss. The NPP is saying that if we should take into account October to December, we expect an accumulated loss of about $300 million. The bone of contention here is not for Sami to argue whether the debt accumulated is 214 or 300 million. Is there any debt at all? And if we had incurred some debts, how did we get here? Who are the beneficiaries? More importantly, people are asking who are the beneficial owners of the company that has been given the sole mandate to buy gold. You know, let's try to clarify this. You can mimic the gold board to the cocoa board. The Ghana Cocoa Board is the only company that is given the mandate to export gold outside of Ghana. But when it comes to buying cocoa from farmers, we have accredited buying companies, many of them, so that the people of this country can get job and create extra employment. So when we go to the villages, we call them cocoa crache. These are managers, district managers who are employed by the produce buying companies. And they go to the farmers, go to the farm gates to buy cocoa, and then the buying companies now go to cocoa board and sell the cocoa to cocoa board. In the case of gold, something that is more precious in value on the world market than cocoa, the people of this country were told that only one company was fit enough, without going through any procurement processes, was fit enough to buy all the gold proceeds from wherever we mine it, whether they are legal or illegal. And so who is making that profit? And so when we wake up in this country and people tell you that President Mahama has come, he's coming to reset, he's coming to do this, he's coming to change things, then if you don't know President Mahama, then you probably did not understand what they meant by reset. They left a country that was high on corruption, a country that was high with unemployment, a country that was bedeviled with lack of education for so many children because their parents could not afford, a country that health facilities were lacking. And now Danko Akufo-Addo in 8 years come to make good gains for these people, and the Mahama says, I'm coming to reset. Why couldn't people think that their reset was supposed to take it back to where they left Ghana? Where they left Ghana is where they want to take us to. That is what they mean by reset. Because they said that all that Akufo-Addo and the MPP had done were not good. They were not things that they thought should hold. And so they were coming to reset Ghana.
Well, Dennis, the minority.
You must not be surprised when these people make an attempt to loot this country to the bone. This is the former president. Whilst he held power previously before 2016, he said that he, as the president of the Ghana, had led to eating the flesh to the bone. He ate all the meat, left bones for the people of this country. Now we came, we rebuilt the flesh. And they are coming back. What do you think they are coming to do? They have to take you back to reset.
If that is the stance you hold, or the opinion you hold, Dennis, the minority in Parliament who belong to your party, the NPP, are calling into a probe into the matter. That
is the most important thing that every Ghanaian must be interested in. My sister Janet is calling for abolition of gold board. Yes, that could be another step. But if that should come, people must be held accountable. We might not just go and close down the
in any case, the CEO of Gold Board himself has welcomed this probe. Doesn't this give
if we were sincere people in this country, he is not the right person to welcome it. I think by now, all those who are rented and bought, the CSOs, everybody today must be on the street demanding him to comply with any investigation. It is not for him to say he accepts or not. Let's leave Samejamfi out of the equation because it doesn't make laws for this country. It's not the law. The parliament is a body that is meant to make sure that fairness, transparency occurs at every agency in this country. And I think it would be best for Speaker Bagbin, as a matter of fact, give some agency to that call and make sure that the committee is set up. When the committee is set up, we had the majority leader in parliament who sent a bill to parliament that he was calling for the abolition of the office of the special prosecutor. This must not be something difficult for them to support. They must use their two-thirds majority to support this investigation to make sure that Ghanaians get to know exactly what has happened over the past 9 months.
Okay, let me go back to Ms. Nabla. We have lost her, unfortunately. We'll also be ending the conversation soon. So Dennis, let me quickly get you into this conversation about the year 2025. There are those who believe that the year, the country has seen a turnaround. And then there are others, on the other hand, who feel we are just marking time. We are on a treadmill, and so we are not moving forward. We are just at the same place. Where have we gotten to as a country from the beginning of the year up until now? Would you give a good review? Has the NDC turned things around?
Abraham, have you had the opportunity to listen to the new song by Amrado?
No, I haven't.
Oh, then you have to take your time and listen to the music. Okay. I think it's just less than 5 minutes. He has, he's done well. In fact, for most of us who are communicators, he's given us a very solid document where we can always refresh our memories. The beginning of the year till the end of the year, all the things that happened are things that she's talked about. And mind you, if you listen to the song, if anybody is telling you that Ghana has been a blessing in the past few months, then you ask yourself whether the cause of death is also a blessing to this country. So many accidents, so many deaths, so many catastrophes. Now, you look at this country, I think the only phrases that they sing for themselves, that is the NDC, is that, oh, the dollar has come down. I had maintained earlier this year that when we talk about the value of money, it is not about the exchange rate that is posted on the wall. It is always about the purchasing power. And so if you came to power in 2025, January 7th, a bag of cement was selling at 82 cedis. You took it to 120, 130, and now at the end of the year, you've been able to manage to bring it back to 84 cedis. What gains have we made as citizens? Because those of Ghanaians who were expected to buy cement somewhere in June had to endure the high cost of 120, 130 cedis. So what has Mahama achieved in terms of the price of cement and other building materials? If you look at this economy, an economy that Akufo-Addo left, a growth rate of close to 6%. At the end of this year, if you come back and tell us that you have single-digit inflation as low as 6%, if you say that you brought interest rate down, at the end of the day, we expect that people could go to the banks and borrow. Those who are into production could produce more so that the economy will grow. So all the attendant effects that we all have to see and say that yes, things went well or not, they can all be summed or summarized by the growth rate. What is the growth rate of Ghana today, 1 year after they took government? You come to Ashanti region where I'm speaking from. Before the exit of the MPP government, there were so many roads under construction.
Hello, Dennis.
Yes. No contractor has been on site in the Ashanti region for past 1 year. Why? Because government comes to power and says that they are not paying any contractor who was working in the region. Until today, all the roads that were in construction have been abandoned for 1 year. What has government done? What schools have government built? Agenda 111 are left in the bush to rot. And so if people say we are on a treadmill, yes, because where the MPP left Ghana is the same point that Ghana is still at. In some instances, the work that were done have been left to deteriorate. It will cost government and the people of Ghana more than it was budgeted for before we can complete these projects. And so President Mahama has been a horse. He came with a deceitful face, told the people of this country that he was changed. They whitewashed him, and the Ghanaian people said yes, they were angry with the MPP. To some extent, you cannot begrudge them. There were some things that when we take stock, you can say that yes, the MPP messed up at some point in our 8 years in government. But the people did not exercise caution, gave a huge majority to the president in parliament. And so the president feels that he's been emboldened enough not to respect anything that we do in this country today. So he wakes up every day and now he makes an attempt to change the laws of Ghana. He sacked a whole chief justice, something that even Rawlings, who was perceived to be a very wicked and authoritarian leader, avoided. Rawlings avoided sacking a chief justice. President Kufuor avoided. Atamos avoided. Akufo-Addo avoided. John Mahama alone has been the single president in this country who has decided to collapse this country.
So then it's 2025. You would not say that Ghana has turned around for the better?
Turn around, what turned better for you, Abra? You yourself. Did anything turn better for you? Let's try to put ourselves in the context. You yourself, go back home today and ask yourself if anything turned better.
So then if you would not even rate this government as having done anything good. If you were to give a rating, what would you give?
If you want me to rate this government, we are in the negative because the tenets of good governance and democratic tendencies that actually give freedom to the people of this country have been curtailed.
But isn't this departing from what polls have also been able to give out? Polls have been conducted.
Which polls?
Global Info Analytics has conducted a poll.
What did he say?
About 60% of Ghanaians believe that the country is going in the right direction.
Which Ghanaians are we talking about? How many people he sits in his room and then just pick a pen and paper and do forecasting and the people of this country?
Dennis, unless you do not agree with you are not in favor of the work that Global Info Analytics has been doing over a while now. Their latest poll says
always stated that fact. I've never believed in anything they bring
You
out.
don't?
It's just forecasting.
Really? Where the polls say that some persons within your stronghold as a party are even given a good rating to the president and his government, you still will call it forecasting, Dennis?
He can sit in his room and say that. Have you ever seen him conduct any street survey where you see people talking to them before? Have you ever seen?
But there are so many different ways of conducting polls, aren't there?
I get it. So if every day he come out and say things and he's not able to show evidence to the fact that yes, he spoke to real Ghanaians, whether he's using AI or not, nobody knows. But I know that he is a propaganda tool being used by the NDC to confuse the people of this country. And so when he forecasts, and one or two comes through, then people based on that to say, yes, he's credible. He's not credible. I've never believed in anywhere from the Global Info Analytics because he is not genuine. He's not genuine. So if you say the people of this country, I always want to go to the people. Yes, there are people in my stronghold who probably think that, oh yes, if you ask me this question, yesterday I didn't have 1 cedi, today I got 1 cedi. And so it's better for me today. I have to agree and accept, live with that because that is a real testimony coming from an individual who has experienced it. Go around this country and ask the people of this country how much progress they made in their individual lives in the year 2025. If the people made progress, I said it must reflect in the growth of the economy. What is the growth rate Akufo-Addo left for this country and what growth rate are they getting for the end of the year? Did we grow or we retrogressed? And so you have a government that is now gagging freedom. So many people don't want to talk now. If you are an opponent to the NDC and you are not strong, if you are not bold, they just want to make sure everybody keeps quiet. If you have a government that incarcerates people in custody for over 90 days based on bail terms that are unachievable, come back to tell the people of this country that we've made gains. It is the same president who has let go a number of people whose criminal activities is costing this country over 10 billion Ghana cedis. And one of them has been given a very sensitive role to connive with Sami Jamfi at the Bank of Ghana to shortchange the people of this country. In 9 months, costing us $240 million loss. And you think Ghana has made progress? You have an Attorney General who is supposed to serve justice on behalf of every citizen of this country, who has turned into a party communicator. He's talked more than any communicator in this country for the year 2025. Somebody who must be studying the books, the law, defending government, defending individuals who are affected one way or the other, has now turned himself into a public prosecutor, destroying the image of people in this country, whether he has evidence or not.
Well,
you want to tell me this country has turned for the better?
Okay.
You have a whole majority leader who instigated the people of Boko.
No, Dennis, I would rather we do not go there. I would rather we not go there at all.
Is it not part of
Dennis,
2025 discussion?
Unfortunately,
if you do that, the next time you will not come on the program.
No, Dennis, I would love so much to have you on the program.
No,
but
we are discussing.
Dennis, would you please?
Mahama Ayariga, the representative of the people of Boko, could never step in Boko because of his own attitude.
But yesterday he was in Boko. Dennis, what would you say about that? Yesterday he was there.
In a military convoy. If you have the representative of the people being marshaled by military officers to the point that his own people who elected him cannot come close to him, is that an achievement? How can 2025 be better?
Dennis, would you please let me tell you why I did not want us to wade into the Boko waters?
I will listen to you.
Thank you. You understand how the situation is going at this point. Mediation has been conducted, the report has been given, but you go on social media and some of the comments, right here on ABC in the morning, I've had callers calling and used some very heated words, and so I would have wished that we stayed away from it. It is not to gag you, it is not to stifle your thoughts or your words, not at all.
Abraham, we will not stay out of discussion on Boko. We will never stay out of it. But the point, I can agree with you, yes. Mediation has been done. Proposals have been made. We will not go into what has been presented and classify it in any form. But it does not mean that we cannot make references to the attitude and the conduct of people who have lived there before. How much they've caused war. How much they are now unable to go there because of their own behavior. We will continue to remind the people of this country so that when you meet them in Accra and one day they tell you that they want to change their constituency from Boko to Accra, you get to know the kind of people they are. We'll talk about Mahama Ayariga and his attitude and conduct. And so I believe that if you look at what has happened in this country for 2025, you cannot be proud of it. You cannot. Let the NDC deceive themselves. They've come to power. They are sharing things among themselves. They've even forgotten that majority of the young people who got angry with the MPP and voted them are still in their rooms. They cannot even step out because they have no money for TNT. Unfortunately for them, even in their houses, they have to come and stay outside because they can no longer afford the cost of electricity, which has been high by 28% under John Mahama in just 1 year. Their lights go off. They can't switch on the fans. They stay in their compounds, spotted, unemployed, hungry, and they are getting angry by the day. If they think that they can continue to deceive the people of this country, they should go ahead. I believe that by 1 year today, the people of this country would have come to terms of who the NDC actually are, how deceitful they are, how insincere President Mahama was when he was on the campaign trail vis-a-vis whilst in government as president of this country.
Well, Dennis,
we start on this platform. We have a whole president of the Republic of Ghana swearing in a chief justice, custodian of the Ghana.
Well, Dennis, thank you so much for speaking with us this morning. Unfortunately, our time is fast spent, but as you've given your verdict on 2025, we'll look forward to seeing what 2026 brings us as a people, see how the John Dramani Mahama-led government also leads the country in 2026. We had hoped to also pick the thoughts of Ms. Janet Nabla on this matter, but we lost her there. Connection seemed to have been a problem, and so we lost her, unfortunately. But thank you so much. Dennis, if you're still with me, a big thank you to you for speaking with us today. Big thank you again to Janet Nabla, the founder of the People's National Party, today on ABC in the Morning. We'll take a break. When we return, we bring you the latest in the world of sports. Stay with us.
Rent back with the Pia Upa. Come on, come see what? Wait, Jessica. My friend, see before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to opt in and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto chiaka. Inti ene, uno ba no mpe baby amobeda. Oh no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
This week's been wild. New releases dropping, artists blowing up, moments going crazy on the timeline. Don't worry, we've got you.
We pull the highlights, the date, the event, everything you need to know, and then the real fun starts.
The official top 10 songs running the streets, the airwaves, and your playlists.
If the culture is talking about it, we are counting it down.
This is the rundown.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper, and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenini na da da da. So pa mediane no abin.
Come on, Gino, do your magic.
And papa no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
And your daddy trying to kiss keke.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Introducing Betway's Bet Influencer, a groundbreaking feature where you can make money by just sharing codes. He just needs to share his codes and make money. The more his codes are used, the more money he makes. Oh yes, so what are you waiting for? Anyone can be a bet influencer. Share your codes and make money. Bet Influencer, another world first from Betway.
This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more.
Hey, so mommy, who is going to do my day jollof?
Oh, Kwame, you know our secret, right?
Yeah. Efia.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now add your Chino Jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so good.
Jollof so good. Tasty, yeah.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with a perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.